Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we are going to be talking about online presenting forever. Present master shimashou. This is the 5th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaeigyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book, Stop Wasting Money on Training in Japanese, トレーニングでお金を無駄にするのはやめましょう, is now available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 309. Today we're talking about presenting online isn't going away ever. Remote work is a sticky concept. Bosses may prefer to have people under direct supervision in the office, but the masses have voted with their feet and headed home. Tokyo commutes are a shocker. Crowded trains, standing, squashed up against total strangers for long hours is not something anyone looks forward to. And being able to ditch all of that and stay home instead sounds much better. There is a need for in-person teamwork, and finding the balance between remote days and days in the office is a hot topic at the moment and will continue to be so. Internal and external meetings will need to be conducted remotely. We're entering the hybrid world where some of the team are in the same office meeting room and everyone else is at home connecting remotely. This will spill over to meetings with clients. Japan is always a country where there is a surprising number of people required for the meeting on the client side. I can't count the number of times when there was just me on one side of the table and a host of people on the other, with me wondering, why are there so many people required for this meeting? That will continue in the remote world and in the hybrid meeting world too. This presents a number of problems. Engaging our audiences online and in the room are both difficult thanks to the technology. When groups gather in a room for the meeting, there is normally one camera to cover all. There are some tools available like the OWL, which uses multiple cameras covering 360 degrees to show who is speaking on the screen for those who are remote. This is good, but there is a limit to its effectiveness because it suits small groups gathered in U-shape. Sound is the issue here. Usually there are one or two of those UFO-looking microphones on the desk to pick up the audio. In my experience, they are never quite satisfactory. It is also very frustrating when those in the room react to an unintelligible remark and start laughing, while those beaming in remotely have no clue what is going on. This really divides the group into first and second class citizens very quickly. The other problem, which despite everyone working with the technology for the last number of years, is that few people still understand how to use the camera. In a meeting room shared with one camera, it is difficult because the distance of the people speaking is quite far, and with a wide shot, we don't feel any connection with them. The owl and similar technology can help, but I haven't seen too many firms bothering to use it when they have already installed one camera at the front of the room. For those joining remotely, they invariably fail to look at the camera at all and looking down at the faces on the screen. This is understandable because we are trained to look at people's faces, and this is where all the body language information is located. Unfortunately, we are not looking at the people though because our eyes are downcast. We're looking at the middle of the screen rather than at the green dot, which is where the camera is located on the top of the laptop. When we ignore the people's faces on screen and talk directly to the green dot, we are now engaging directly with the audience because they see us looking straight at them. For the speaker, though, it's not very satisfying because there is no sense of strong personal bond between us and the audience faces on the screen. So we feel disconnected. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Okay, on the 14th of October, we have some programs coming up. Next one, 14th of October, will be for Winning with Relationship Selling. It's our wonderful selling program. Really works on building the trust with the buyer, as well as all the sales techniques you'll need to know. On the 22nd of October, we have our Dale Carnegie course. That's our flagship course. Really interesting program covering stress management, leadership, human relations skills, communication skills. Also coming out of your comfort zone skills too, to expand your world and step up and challenge to make your career bigger, higher, better, more awesome. On the 2nd of November, we'll be doing our High Impact Presentations program. Really wonderful program teaching you how to be persuasive, and that is really the core business skill everybody needs. You can have a technical speciality around accounting or law or something in the sciences or whatever, that's fine. But everybody needs to be more persuasive in business, and this is the course that really delivers that. Check out our website at www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value for you there. Now, to do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, there are over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which is the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. To add to the already heightened degree of difficulty, when we introduce slides, the speaker becomes this person trapped in a tiny little box on the screen. We cannot really see them very well, so the personal relationship is lost. Normally, when we are presenting, our face, voice, gestures are critical to being persuasive, but when virtual, we are robbed of two of those elements. We only have our voice to work with. Sadly, very few people understand the importance of how to use modulation, pauses, and speed control for emphasis when speaking. Take note next time you hear people giving a talk or in a virtual meeting. The tendency is to put the same amount of speed and strength behind every word. Boring and often monotonous. In fact, we need to use pauses more in the remote world to allow people listening to follow what we are saying. Also, we purposely hit key words with more power. And this is a must if we want to lift certain key words in the understanding of our audience. This is not a word democracy. Not every word has the same value in a sentence. Most people who are not trained properly give each word the same emphasis. So there is no differentiation. Do we really need to have the slides up all of the time? If we can stop sharing the screen as often as possible and present ourselves in full screen mode, that is best. Yes, that may mean a bit of switching between getting the slide deck up again and alternating between it and ourselves, but this is the way for us to have more impact. Being on full screen allows us to employ gestures, however limited, and also to make the best use of our facial expressions. These are very powerful in driving our point and communicating our message. Having the camera at eye height would seem to be an obvious thing, but I still see so many people just resting the laptop on the table in front of them. Why shooting up one's nose is thought to be professional or attractive is a mystery to me. But a lot of people have zero self-awareness and continue to make this most basic of mistakes. We want to get that camera at eye height so we can make it easier to ignore what is going on in the main screen and just engage each person directly through the camera. If people don't work these things out, we will all be treated to desultory presentations for the remainder of our working careers. That thought sends a shiver up my spine, I can tell you. Or can we all get back to the understanding that this remote medium has its own idiosyncrasies and we have to master them because this medium isn't going away? I hope they can come up with a technology solution that gives us the type of effect you can have with a teleprompter where you can be looking straight at the camera in the middle of the screen rather than just the green dot which is mounted at the top. That would help us all to be better able to engage the people on screen with great eye contact and improve our communication effectiveness. Until the technology catches up, let's get to work on what we can control and be a professional when in person and when beaming in virtually. Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series. If you got value from today's show, spread the love around and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today, use it, and go out there and become a presentations legend. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.